Hey, hey there, my Equalizer fans. It's your girl Barbie J here, and we are here with the fall season finale. That's right, season 3, episode 7, Paradise Lost. And y'all know what I'm going to say because we all say the same thing. This was a wonderful episode. It was a great episode. The episode was on fire, and it didn't hurt that our girl Kelly Rowland from Destiny's Child was in there doing her little acting thing, and she was pretty darn good. I think she did a great job. She played Misty, a superstar singer. Anyway, let me get on with this review real quick, but quickly. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please take a moment now, hit that subscribe button, then hit the notification bell and select all, and it'll let you know every time I upload a new video. Then I ask that you hit that thumbs up button or the like button, write a comment below, and share the video. Now let's get started. So it begins with Misty singing that Good Morning Manhattan. I guess they was trying to do Good Morning America, but Good Morning Manhattan. And she makes an announcement about retiring from the music business, and her manager, or I think it's her manager, Martin, he's upset about not knowing about this decision she decided she was going to make. And she says she's tired of being a brand and she wants to just be a person, a normal person. And he leaves out of the room all upset, and she opens up her fan mail, and there's a message in there in blood that says, "I'm coming for you." I said, okay, here we go. Here's the show starting. So now it flips over to Robin and Aunt Vi and Delilah, and they're in the kitchen talking. And Robin notices that Delilah seems more confident these days. Then Dee says, she's meeting with Mel to do some shopping. And Robin's like, oh, okay. Now I'm glad y'all getting along. So Robin leaves, and Aunt Vi talks to Delilah about training behind her mother's back, saying she should tell her or else she damn sure will. So Aunt Vi made that known that morning. So then we got Robin. She meets with her new client, Lucas, who needs her to be like a private security or something, and for this superstar singer Misty. And Robin says she can't do it, but can refer other companies. So Lucas said he can't do that because in the past, when they've had hired a private company, they had to fire them for not doing a good job. And what they did was turned on Misty and ran to the tabloids to start giving them false stories about her. So Lucas, we could tell he really cares about Misty. So then Robin is telling Harry about Misty's case and says she gave Dante the card to, run Prince. And then Mel comes in looking a little sweaty, and Robin notices it and says something. Nothing big, but she just says a little, wow, did my daughter do this to you? Got you like this? And Mel played it off some kind of way. So then we have Mel, Robin, and Harry. They're pretending to be a film crew. That's the way. And they're supposed to, follow Misty around as an end to her career and farewell to concert like thingy or something, So that way they're with her all day long, following her step by step, like in a reality TV show. But Misty says she didn't know anything about this, and she was against it at first. She was like, these are not the regular people. And Lucas is like, I vetted them, don't worry. But then she said, well, if you think it's good for me, then I'll do it. She said, so, and Robin and Mel jumped in saying, there's a lot of like terrible stories about you out there. This is your chance to tell your side of the story before you go out and leave, and, yada, yada. So she decided to do it. Then Misty was alone in her room, and she heard something, and some guy came out of the closet with a mask on, and he knocked her down to the floor and ran. And Robin and Lucas came into the room and picked her up off the floor. Lucas went looking to see where the guy ran, but then they learned that later that the person got into the room by using a janitor's key card. And the janitor had only been on the job 3 weeks, but they found him pushed or locked in a closet somewhere, so they knew it wasn't him who did it. Then we have Dante. He called Robin with the information he had found out. The fingerprints were from a long time Misty fan, and he gives Robin some more details, and she said, can't sleep on you, can I? And he said, I wouldn't advise it. I said, oh, honey. That was about the only moment of their flirting this episode. So we didn't get a lot of flirting. We didn't get them to kiss this episode. Everybody who thought that was going to happen, we didn't get any of that. I guess they had to save something for, the next season. Anywho, we got Delilah out on the street with her friends, and one of her friends is being choked by another guy, and she's asking him to stop. And he's like, mind your business. And she's like, well, this is my friend, so it is my business. So he finally lets the guy go. And when Robin, Lord help me, when Delilah reaches down to pick up her friend, the other guy who was messing with him grabbed her wrist. And all of a sudden, remember what we heard Mel tell Delilah? And Delilah could hear Mel's voice in her head saying, if someone grabs your wrist, don't think, just act. And that's what Dee did. And she flipped that guy onto the ground. And he's like, oh, I think I broke my arm. And I'm like, everyone had out their cell phones recording it. And I said, here we go. I'm hoping that Miles don't see this, because I know Robin gonna be pissed. Anyway, we go to Misty and Zara. They're sitting there drinking tea when all of a sudden Zara falls over. Robin and Lucas were talking about the guy Dante interviewed, and that he's not the crazed fan that's after Misty. They're like, unfortunately, whoever's after her is still out there and wants her dead. So Robin and Lucas, they saw Zara fall over, and they run over there. Robin thinks she's been poisoned and yells to call 911. Misty says, oh my God, that poison was probably meant for me. And the paramedics came and saved Zara and said she's going to be okay. And Misty is grateful, but they suggest that she cancels her final live performance for her own safety. She doesn't want to, but finally gives in. They realize it has to be someone in Misty's inner circle, because it has to be somebody who knows that Misty likes to drink tea, or what time of the day she likes to drink tea. So Robin's now in her car driving, and she's talking to Mel and Harry when she gets a call from Delilah's principal that Delilah has been in a fight. She says she's okay, but Robin needs to come and get her. So Mel's face looked concerned when Robin clicked back over and said, oh no, something's happening at D's school with D. So can y'all just go ahead and check on A, B, C, and D, So Robin went to pick her up, and the school sent her the video, and Robin said is in the car pissed at D, telling her that she saw that hip move that Delilah did. And she said, it's funny because Mel taught me the same move. So Dee apologized and said she was going to tell her. And Robin said, but you didn't. You decided to go behind my back. So she's pissed because she said, I explicitly told you no. And you went behind my back, and I told you you weren't ready for this responsibility. And Delilah was trying to say something. She's like, look, I'm dropping you off at home and we'll talk about it later. I was like, okay. Robin's pissed. Then Dante is questioning Misty's manager, Martin, trying to get information about his whereabouts. He had, an airtight alibi, so they couldn't blame him. Then Robin and Dante are discussing what they've learned and their next moves. So then Robin meets with Misty, and they discuss how life works. Misty blames herself for Zara getting poisoned, and Robin lets her know it's not her fault. Then she goes back to her hotel room with her, and they have 2 security guys who are following them. So she says she can't get back to her regular life as Sonia Banks from East Cleveland, Ohio. Sonia Banks from East Cleveland, Ohio. Isn't that funny how these people have these other names, but they make these superstar names? Anyhow, it's just so cute. But I thought she was doing a great job. I really did. I thought Kelly Rowland was doing a great job in this show with her acting. So all of a sudden, while they walking down the hall, some fans come running towards Misty, and Robin grabbed one of them. The security guards grabbed the other 2, and the guy had his hand in his pocket, and Robin grabbed him, flipped him to the floor, and Misty looked at her and said, wait a minute. She realized that you're not really a producer or something. Who are you? And Robin admitted that Lucas hired her as an extra protection, and Misty got pissed, saying that this is why I can't trust anyone. So she fired both of them. I said, damn, really? They just looking out for you. So then Robin found out some vital information not long after that about Misty's manager withdrawing money from her account for a venue, but instead it went to an offshore account. And so Robin told Lucas, and they were like, we got to let Misty know. So they went to her room, made the security guy move, and she was gone. So they kept calling her phone, but she didn't answer. So I'm like, how the heck did she get out of that room with the security right there outside the door? What was he doing? Anyway, Dante has Misty's manager in the interrogation room still, and he's questioning him, saying he knows that he has hired this thug to go after Misty, but the manager tells Dante that he hired the guy to go after someone else, and he tells him that he has been, being threatened by the son of the songwriter of Misty's hit song Paradise. So Dante's like, what? So he admitted that he had paid the woman only $500 and didn't know it would be a hit or something like that. So Dante's sitting there going and say, you brought the rights to a multi-platinum hit song that launched Misty's career, and the songwriter only got $500. He said, well, did you go back and pay the woman her fair share when the money started coming in? And the manager, you see how greedy is? He's like, no, I had a legitimate contract with her. It's not fair, but that's the way this business goes. And Dante looked at him with such disgust for being greedy. So then Martin had people thinking, that he wrote the song, and Dante asked the name of this guy who Martin was trying to teach a lesson or scare or something, and he said his name was Elton Smith, and Dante sent the name to Harry to look him up. So then Harry calls Robin and tells her who he thinks they are looking for. They realize that it's Misty's guitar player, Tommy. He actually changed his name so that he could get close to Misty, saying Elton's mother, Brenda, is the original writer of Misty's hit song Paradise, and he stole it from her. So now Elton is out for revenge. I tell you, this was getting good. So Robin and Lucas, they go to his hotel room, and a few of the band members are in there, and they tell them, well, they were going to each band member's room to see if they knew where Misty was. And they finally heard them in one of the rooms. They was knocking, but nobody would open. So they bust in the door, and they asked, where's Misty? And the band members they tell them that Tommy took Misty to her room, but when they went to her room, she wasn't there. So Robin reaches out to Harry and asks him to check for Misty's phone, and Misty's phone was still registering in the hotel, so they knew she didn't have it. So then she asked Harry to look for Tommy's phone. And he said that he had the GPS turned off. He saw Tommy's car, but he couldn't make out the license plate when it was driving off. So then they started looking up information about him, and they learned that his mother died 3 months ago of a drug overdose, and they weren't doing too well financially. So with this and Misty deciding to retire, it seems to have been the reason for Tommy's acceleration to kill. So he feels that he has no other choice. They feel, and this is what they're thinking, since he spent years going after Martin and getting nowhere, trying to get the money for the, royalties or something like that for his mother writing that song. And he's feeling that Misty is living the life that his mother should have had. And Robin feels that the answer to where they can be right now is in the song his mother wrote. So then we see Misty and Tommy, they in a car driving, and she asks him where they going, and he says that he wants to show her something. I was like, uh-oh, here we go. So Tommy tells Misty that Paradise was his mother's song and that she never wrote it. And Misty said she wrote the hook, but Martin wrote the song. And he said, yeah, that's what you keep telling yourself. And Misty said, I was going to say Kelly, and Misty said, it's the truth. And he said, don't you lie to me. You're starting to scare me, Tommy, she said. And he said, that's not my name. My name is Elton Smith. And Misty said, well, I didn't know about what Martin did. She said, I didn't know. And he said his mother died penniless, and he blamed Misty for that, the way that his mother's life ended. And now he's going to end her life. And at that moment, that's when Robin came in there. Robin, she always come right on time, and she finds them on the observation deck at Grand Central. I used to work over there, right on that building at Grand Central, y'all. But anyway, back to the show. So she matter of fact, that's where I was working when 9/11 hit. We watched the plane hit the buildings right there from Grand Central, 200 Park Avenue it is. Anyway, y'all, let me get back to the story. So Robin yells, she's telling the truth, and that she didn't know that Martin stole that song from your mother. So they both managed to talk Elton down from cutting Misty's throat. and he let her go, and he drops the knife and says he's sorry. And then he tried to jump off the roof and kill himself. And Robin caught his arm. And I said, how she caught his arm without her falling over? And then Misty reached down there and said, grab my hand. And he grabbed her hand. And then on 1, 2, 3, they pulled up and they pulled him to safety. And Misty held him as he cried on the ground, saying she's so sorry and that everything's going to be okay. And it was just like, man, he was just brokenhearted. He just lost his mother, and all these years fighting to get what was due her, it just exploded. It was breaking him down. Anyway, so then we have Robin. She confronts Mel because everything is done now. And Robin, they all going to hear Misty sing. And Robin confronts Mel about her training Delilah behind her back. And she tells her how Delilah used that Goshi move. You know, she taught her on a kid. And Mel said, I'm so sorry, that happened. And she said it wouldn't have happened if you didn't do it behind my back. Luckily, she didn't get expelled. She could have broke his arm. And she insists that Dee is not ready. And Mel says, Dee feels unsafe. And so they get into this back and forth. And Robin lets Mel know that she will decide what's appropriate for her child to learn. Not Dee, not you, but me, she said. And it's not Mel's place to make this decision for Dee. We all know this, don't we, y'all? Y'all put it down in the comment section because we all knew this was going to happen. So Mel admits that she overstepped and reminds Robin that we chose this life and Dee didn't. So she still keeps trying to explain, but Robin wasn't trying to hear it at all. So Robin walks away, and then Mel gets a phone call and runs out the place. Then Robin meets up with Dante to hear Misty sing, and then Misty makes an announcement that she's going to use all of the future profits for the song Paradise to fund a music education program in the name of the actual songwriter, Miss Brenda Smalls, which that was nice, and everybody was clapping, yay. And then Robin asked Dante what's going to happen to Elton, and he said that the DA is asking for a reduced sentence. It's not a slam dunk, but it helps that Misty is advocating for him. Then he sees Harry sitting alone at a table, and he asks Dante asks, where's Mel? And Robin said, probably out getting some air. I said, oh, shoot. He then looked at her and asked if things were okay between them. And Robin said, honestly, I don't know. And then Robin gets home, and she checks on Dee, and then signals to speak with Aunt Vi, who you could tell by her face, she already seemed to have her feelings some type of way about, the situation herself. So Robin asked if she knew, and she said yes. And I was like, you should have told her you just found out last night. But, Aunt Vi don't be telling too much stuff. So she told Robin, I thought it was Dee's place to tell you, but clearly she didn't. And Robin said she is furious and that they lied to her. And she reminds Robin that Dee seeing her mother getting taken away like that was a game changer. She's scared and feels helpless. And neither of us wants to be caught in that position, because we know Aunt Vi went and started taking gun lessons and shooting guns. She probably bought one. And she said, we don't want to be in this position ever again. And if you want to have any control over her life, stop saying no to this without giving her a good reason. And Robin said, it was made clear today she's not ready. And Aunt Vi looked at her and said, is she not ready, or is it you who's not ready? I said, Robin had to think about it. She was thinking. Then Aunt Vi said, either way, this is not going away. So Robin says, I guess I can get her some basic self-defense classes. And Aunt Vi said, that's not a bad idea. So then Aunt Vi leaves the room, and she says, oh, the other thing with Mel, well, y'all got to work that out. And Robin mumbled, work it out, the hell with that. So Robin's pissed at Mel. See how Mel did that? It's crazy. You're going to have a child lying to a parent. Anyway, it ended with Mel chasing after some guys, and she corners one of them and is pointing her gun at him and asking him, where's my brother? So I didn't know Mel had a brother. So this is something new that's going to be next season. I guess they're going to be trying to find her brother, but we don't know if she's going to get help from Robin. So this was the fall season finale. Y'all let me know down in the comment section how y'all thought about it, because I thought it was a good episode. And I'll see you guys next year, I guess, because that's probably when it'll be back. So this your girl Barbie J saying happy holidays and happy new year. And see you in the next video. Peace.